Thank you for joining us. Remember in the last passage that Jesus asked them, if I call myself the Son of God, why does that bother you if somebody says, like in Psalm 82, hey, you are gods, when it's talking about leaders? And so basically he was saying, examine yourself as to why this really bothers you, because if there wasn't something else involved in it, it wouldn't be bothering you. And then he answers their question for them. Okay. Answering their question for them, he's saying, the signs that I've been doing, the reason that you're bothered is because you've seen those signs and you're struggling with whether or not you're willing to accept that I'm more than just a man. So here we go. If I do not do the works of my Father, John 10:37, don't believe me. But if I do them, though you do not believe me, believe the works, so that you may know and understand that the Father is in me and I in the Father. And therefore they were seeking again to seize him, and he eluded their grasp. They're so mad about him wanting their lives to change. And so he's saying, the works that I do testify. You see, Jesus wasn't just somebody who claimed to be the Son of God. He backed it up with signs that were done in the presence of witnesses. And John 5:36, guess who he's talking to? In John 5:36, he's talking to the Pharisees. He says, the testimony which I have is greater than the testimony of John, for the works which the Father has given me to accomplish, the very works that I do, testify about me, that the Father sent me. Okay? In Peter's sermon on Pentecost, Peter said that Jesus was confirmed by signs and wonders which the Father did through him. In John 2:11, when it was talking about changing the water into wine, and John said this was the beginning of his signs that Jesus did in Cana of Galilee, where he changed the water into wine. You know, there's a miracle. Miracles are wonderful. But a sign is a miracle that says something. A sign is a miracle that says, this defines the person that's doing what he's doing. And sometimes the miracles that Jesus did were not just called miracles, they were called signs, indicating that he was really the Son of God. Now, he's speaking to the Pharisees again, much, much later, and it's about crucifixion time. And he said, you look at the sky in the morning and you say it'll be fair weather because the sun, it's nice and bright and sunny. And then in the evening, if you see that it's like, I think I got it backwards. Let's see. Red sky at morning, sailor take warning. Red sky at night, sailor's delight. So I think I got it backwards. But he's saying you can look at the weather and you can discern what kind of a day you're going to have. But you can't discern the signs of the times. He was saying, yeah, you can. You're just refusing to accept the obvious signs that are before you. Yeah. Reminds me of my football team, Midwest City Bombers. Graduated from Midwest City in 1971 and then went back to pastor in Midwest City from 95 to 2006. Bomber fan. Noella and I would have seats on the 50-yard line. And Midwest City had won the state championship the year before. And they had some games that they pulled out of the fire, that they should have lost, that they really won. And that was the year before. The cheerleaders were refusing to accept an obvious sign. There was about a minute and a half left in the football game, and they were down by like 17 points. And we had a babysitter with Jaybird, and so Noella and I felt like we needed to go home and rescue the babysitter. And so we started walking down the bleachers, and the cheerleaders started chanting, we believe, we believe, we believe. And I thought, you're refusing to accept a sign that's obvious. Sometimes that's involved in grief too, isn't it? Like you lose a loved one and you're thinking, okay, someday I'm going to drive into the driveway and there they're going to be, in the front yard. Things like that. Well, it was that way with these guys. What they had, they loved so much. Being the center of attention, being called rabbi, being called teacher, the chief seats in the synagogue, all those things. And now Jesus was going to be the center of attention, and they didn't want their lives to change. And so they were desperate to refuse to accept the obvious. Yeah. The signs. Okay, I guess I'm done. I guess I need to admit that. Have a great day.